Hello everyone, dear viewers of my YouTube channel. Today my video is dedicated to a wonderful film called Spy Kids. Meet the top 10 interesting facts about him. Friends, subscribe to my channel. Like, leave comments and share videos on social networks. Go! Tenth place. Initially, Kelly Preston, Gemini, 1988, was supposed to play the role of the spy mom, but while the project was being finalized, she realized that she was pregnant with her second child from her husband John Travolta. Then the director offered the role of Ingrid Cortez to Carla Gugino. But the 27-year-old actress strongly doubted, because at her age it did not look very believable to have such adult children. However, Robert Rodriguez told the girl about his family and his 9 brothers and sisters. And then the actress agreed. Ninth place. In all interviews, Rodriguez said that he edited the film in the garage. But it turns out in his house, at that time, there was an editing studio with all the necessary equipment, which he jokingly called a garage. Eighth place. Interestingly, for Robert Rodriguez, Spy Kids was the last film shot on film. Because later, George Lucas at his studio introduced Rodriguez to digital technology. Seventh place. I wrote so much for the first part, but it didn't make it into the film. I had to make a sequel, said the director. In fact, I wanted Carmen and Junie to be already spy children. To have all the gadgets, to be cool agents. But that was clearly not the case for the first movie. The first part is rather the genesis of how they became spies. So all the moments in which they were too smart and active ended up in the sequel. Sixth place. She came to the Machete set with her baby, Rodriguez recalls. The kid was sitting in the kangaroo, and she was dressed like a real spy, in a black suit with heels. So I quickly imagined this picture in my head. And then I told her, "You must become a mother in the new Spy Kids movie." Fifth place. Carla Gugino played Ingrid Cortez, the mother of the main characters. But initially another actress, Kelly Preston, was approved for the role. She had to give up filming due to the birth of a child. But Carla did not immediately agree to appear. Then she was 29 years old. And the actress felt that she was too young to play the mother of 2 children, who were already 10 and 12 years old. But the director managed to convince her. Fourth place. The book is better than the movie, and the first movie is better than the sequels. Okay. This rule does not always work, but in the case of Children of Spies, it was like that. The first part has the highest rating. And the third even grabbed the Golden Raspberry. She received Sylvester Stallone for Worst Supporting Actor. Third place. Jessica Alba inspired Robert Rodriguez to shoot the 4th part, which tells about another family of spies. She also starred in the main role. At first, Rodriguez and Alba worked together on the film Machete. Jessica came to the shooting with the child. It seemed to Rodriguez that in a black suit and heels she looked like a spy. And he decided, the actress must play the role of a spy mom. Second place. And although in the 4th part the main characters are different, some characters from previous films appeared in it. Carmen, Junie and Machete. Alexa Peña Vega, Daryl Sabara and Danny Trejo were the only cast to appear in all parts of the series. First place. Famous actors have starred in films, but many celebrities have appeared in supporting roles and episodes. Among them, George Clooney, Salma Hayek, Ricky Gervais, Steve Buscemi, Selena Gomez, Elijah Wood and Taylor Momsen. Friends, thank you all for watching. I really hope that this video was interesting to you. I love you all very much. See you later.